already in a child's pose. So when you're ready, Iris, make your way there. The one supply I would need that you might need for today is a pillow of any kind. That's going to help make some of these postures a little bit more comfortable for you.
Okay, I'm going to run and get one.
All right, Ted, we're going to continue where we're at then. All right, so the hands are out. We've already walked over to one side and then to the other side. And then we're going to place the palms right in the middle of our mat. Think about pressing into your palms to scoot your heels back towards your hips. And then we're going to start with a couple rounds of cat-cow in this position. So you're going to press into your palms, inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. And then exhale, we're going to push the heart up, tuck the head, let the breath out, exhale. So we're inhale coming into our cow pose or half cow. And then our exhale to tuck the tailbone, drop the head. Last big round here, inhaling. And then exhaling to round everything. All right, great. We're going to stay where we are here. Iris, if you're joining us, we're in child's pose, knees as wide as the mat. We're going to try to keep the head down. If the head is hovering, that's where we can put our pillow underneath it, our block underneath it. But the head, that's the goal for this one. We're going to keep that forehead down. Let's make left arm longer and straighter towards the front of your mat. And then we're going to flip left palm over so that palm faces the sky. And we're going to lift that guy 5 times. If it doesn't leave the mat, you are still actively working on your back flexibility here. So just try 5 times. All right, I got 3. And then you set it down. We have 4. Next one, 5. And then let's switch over to that right palm when you're ready. So first, right arm gets longer, straighter towards the top of your mat. And then we flip the hand over. And we're going to lift it for 1. For 2. For 3. For 4. This will be our last try here. It's okay if the palm doesn't lift. For 5. Awesome. All right, we're going to be rolling forward onto our stomach here. So keep the hands where they are. You can walk the knees back. And now we're coming on to the stomach. We're going to start off today in Sphinx pose for that lower back. So elbows are going to be underneath the shoulders. Our hands are pressing down. And right away, I want you to press into the tops of your feet, press into your pelvis, and think about making your chest proud as we roll the shoulders down and back. Let's find a couple breaths here. Lengthening our back body. Awesome. On your next exhale, I want you to set yourself back down. We're going to make a nice pillow for our head in our hands. So I just make like a little cradle and I'm going to set my forehead down into my hands. And then we're going to take some twist as we start to open up the upper body. So I want you to pick right leg off the ground. Bend right knee and then see if you can lift right knee off the ground with still keeping that right hip down. And then I want you to twist gently over towards the left and then back. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So you're going to set that right leg down, then bend left knee, and then left knee is going to hover. And then we're going to come over towards the right side. Ellie, go play. Thank you. All right, a couple more just like that. So we lift, we bend the knee, it hovers off the ground, and then we twist in that order, okay? I'm on the left side now, so we're bending it, lifting, and then bring it over towards the right. Allow your chest and torso to move as much as they need here to do that twist. Let's do one more on each side. So you're going to pick that right knee up, lift off the ground, twist over towards the left, And then back. Last one here. Left knee up and then over towards that left side. Awesome. All right, come back down to the belly. We're still having our hands on our head. And we're going to think about pressing into our pelvis and the tops of our feet again. And we're going to keep the hands on the head and see if we can lift the chest off the ground. And then back down on your next exhale. We're going to do 5 just like that. So we're inhaling to press into the feet and the tops of the belly, raise up, and then exhale to lower. Awesome, guys. Let me know if you're not following at any point. So we inhale to come up, exhale to lower. 2 more times, guys. The hand is still on the head, so we inhale up, exhale, lower back down. Don't forget to keep the press into the feet. Last one, guys. Inhale, and then exhale, come back down. All right. I want you to come up for me one more time. Hands are on the head, and then we're going to bring the hands back in line with the hips. Keep pressing into your feet. Think about squeezing the shoulders in closer to the body. Maybe we can raise a little bit higher and then lower everything back down. Awesome. All right, hands are going to open nice and wide here, and then we're going to take a nice twist. So I'm going to lay the left arm down, and we're going to repeat that twist this time with an open arm. So you're going to lift right knee off the ground and then twist it over towards the right as we find a nice stretch into our chest. If your foot does not hit the ground on the other side, this is where we can use our block or our pillow to help us find this nice chest stretch. Are we doing okay, guys? I'm faced away from y'all.
I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Let's see. Oh, I can't see you. All right, we're going to twist back over towards the other side. The right arm is going to open out by your side like a T. And then the left toes are going to twist over towards the right side of the body. The block or the pillow can come down to help that foot not be hovering in the air. And then see if you can put that neck down as well. Last big breath. And then we're going to roll back onto our stomach. All right, guys. I want you to push up and come into your hands and knees for me. So we're on our hands and knees. Your shoulders are under your your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. And we're first going to start by warming up the wrist. So I want you to spread your palms nice and wide for me. And we're going to start to take some gentle circles going in each direction. All right, is everybody following?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just holler if you're not, because this is your first mobility flow class, so Ted knows a lot of these movements already. All right, and then change your direction when you're ready. The circles can be as small or as big as you need here. The larger the circle is going to put a little bit more into the wrists. Awesome. Now come back over your hands, resituate your cat-cow with your knees under your hips and your shoulders, your hands underneath your shoulders. And then we're going to flip the palms. So now that the tops of the hands are on the mat. If this is a lot on your wrist, you can lean back towards your feet. And we're going to start to take some movement side to side. Don't forget to breathe. Nice, guys. All right. After you got a couple of those, come back through center. And I want you to, we've done this one before. So we're putting the fists together. The thumbs are going to be up. And the hands are going to, the tops of the hands with those fists together are going right down to the floor. So I want you to bend and straighten your elbows once you have those fists down. And we're going to do this around 10 times. You might feel this stretch into your forearm or even still the back of the hand. I can tell I've been typing a lot this week with how I feel. Nice. Awesome. Take a couple more. And then we're going to walk back towards our heels. You have an option to tuck your toes under, and let's give the wrist a nice shake out. With the toes under, we can get a little bit of a feet stretch, but you don't have to. We can just take a seat on the feet as well. So we're shaking them out. We're kind of releasing some of that tension before we move on. You can even bring one hand to opposite wrist and then the other side. Nice, guys. Let me know if the wrists are ever uncomfortable. There's some modifications I can help y'all with. And let's move back to our hands and knees. All right, we're gonna start today in a nice flat back. So find your nice tabletop in alignment before we begin with your back nice and flat. And then when you are ready, we're gonna take a couple rounds of cat-cow. So we're gonna inhale to arch the back, raise the head, squeeze the scapulas together. And then exhale to tuck the tailbone. Exhale and pull the navel in. So we're going to move through a couple rounds here. Inhaling to arch. Exhaling to round. Awesome. Take one more round with your own breath. Inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. And then we're going to take right foot and step it right in between our hands. So now we're going to come into a low lunge. If you want to pillow your back knee, that's where I use a pillow here sometimes. You can. And then we're going to inhale to come up, bring our hands to our knee. Nice, guys. Now we're in our low lunge, and I want you to think about sending your left hip forward. So we're thinking about tucking our hips forward. We're pressing into the top of our back feet and finding a nice stretch in this left hip right here. Nice. Looks like everybody has that okay. If you want a little bit more, you can always lean a little bit forward. That's going to increase the stretch as long as your hips are tucked. Last big breath here. Awesome. All right, I want you to swim right hand next to right thigh. The left hand is going to come up to the sky. And right away, I want you to think about finding your balance, lifting out of your waist here. And then we're going to lean over toward right side with the left hand and back. Let's go for 5 of those. Very good, guys. All right, I have 3. I have 4. Last one here for 5. Awesome, guys. Now I want you to switch your hands. So right hand is going to come up to the sky. Left hand is just going to come down next to your side. And we're going to be moving through a windmill. If this is new to you, I recommend taking a block and placing it right next to your left foot or your pillow. This is going to help bring up the ground a little bit to you and make that the distance we're about to travel a little bit less. So I'm going to start this way. Awesome, guys. All right, so we're going to gaze towards our right hand, and then we're going to swivel our hips so that the left hand can come down to our block. And then once we're down at the bottom, we're going to look at right hand and swivel back up. Nice, guys. Very good. All right, we're going to do 2 more just like that. So we swivel, we drop that left hand, and then we squeeze everything in, press into that front foot to come up. Nice. Let's try that again. If you feel ready, you can move that block, get a little bit more distance here, but that's just an option. All right, guys, that was for 3. Very good. I think we should even it out and make 5 because I did 5 on the other thing. Let's go for 2 more. I lied. Come up. And then last one here. Drop the palm down, squeeze that leg, and we're back up. Amazing. All right, I want you to keep your hips where you are. We're going to try out a new move for everybody today. I don't think Ted's done this way before. So you can bring your hands back down to your hips, and we're going to check our alignment again before we move. So that left hip is forward, is tucked forward. We're pressing into the top of the back feet, and you have an option to curl your toes under to give you a little bit more balance. This is going to test your balance a little bit. All right, so with your right hand, we're going to see if you can lean back and touch somewhere close to your back heel. We don't have to touch our back heel, but we're just going to try that 3 times. So we're going to keep the spine nice and tall. And then with the right arm, we're going to try to come behind us and touch behind. Nice, guys. This is just a good little experiment. See how it goes. All right. After you've given that a couple tries, we're going to drop the hands down right next to our right leg. And then I want you to begin to walk right foot out to the right side of your mat. We're going to be coming into a lizard lunge. So hands can come down next to right foot. We can begin to walk left knee back, and voila, we are in our lizard. So with blocks here or a pillow, you can put them right where your hands are so we can bring the ground up to us a little bit. And that way we can have a little bit of, we can have an upright chest and spine here. As it's okay to be rounded, but if we can be nice and lifted, we tend to feel a little bit better in this pose. All right, take a couple breaths here to cool down. Nice. Last big breath. All right, and then let's start moving. Okay, so with that back knee still down, I'm gonna place my right hand on my knee, and I'm gonna drive my knee away from me as my torso goes over to the left. So we're gonna come in and out of that. So you're gonna push your right knee away, my torso goes over to the left, and then I come back. Don't forget to breathe, and we're gonna try that out a couple times. Starting to open up through the hips. All right, give that one more try for me. Nice, and let's come back to center. All right, I'm placing my hands back onto the blocks or back onto the floor, depending on what you're using today. Really ground into that big toe side of your right foot. And then let's see if we can begin to lift the back knee off the ground. We're gonna do that 5 times. You're gonna set it down. That was 1. Nice, we have 2. Set it down. And go 3. Set it down. 4. And then last one here, we have 5. Awesome, and then set it down. All right, so let's take a little movements with that right foot now. We're gonna be rocking from right toes to right heel. Straightening out the hamstring. You can keep your hands on your pillow or on your blocks if that feels better, but we're moving through that hamstring. Very good. Let me know if y'all need any tips or adjustments here. Nice. All right, give it one more try, and then we're gonna roll back into our lizard pose. Send our right knee to meet our left knee. Now we're back in our hands and knees, and we're going to be stepping our left foot forward this time, coming into a low lunge on this side. So foot is in the middle of your mat, and then we inhale to bring the hands up to the hips. You have that option to pillow the back knee if you like. And then while we're here, we're thinking about sending our right hip forward. We're pressing into the back of that top foot. And then you have that option if you want to lean a little bit forward, you can. Let's find a couple breaths here before we do any other movement. And this side might be different than the other side. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna send that left arm inside the thigh. This time the right arm is going to reach high to the sky. And then think about lifting out of your waist, making your spine taller and straighter. And then we lean over towards the left. We're gonna do that 5 times. Very good, guys. So we have 2. We have 3. I have 4. Last one here. 5. All right, I'm gonna place my blocks down. Your hands can come down. We're gonna try those windmills. That's what they're called on this side. So the block's just gonna help, or the pillow, elevate that ground up to us a little bit. Nice, okay, cool. That left hand is gonna come up towards the sky. Same as before, we're gonna think about lifting out of our waist. And I'm gonna look towards left palm as the right hand touches that block. When it's down on the block, I'm going to think about pressing into that big front foot and coming up, still looking at the hand. Nice. All right, we're going to go for 5 here, just like we did on the other side. This is our core work for today. All right, I got 2. And what we're doing here is we're also actively lengthening out through a lot of the muscles of the low back. So if you feel those at all, we are working them. All right, I got 3. You have that option on these last 2 to move that block if you would like. I have 4. Last one here, guys. Very good. And then the 5 as we swivel back up. Take a breath. Your hands can come back down to your knee. We're going to reset. And then let's check our hips again. So I'm going to tuck my back toes under, as that helps me find a little bit more balance here. I'm going to pad my knee too because I'm feeling it. So you're welcome to do that. And then we think about sending the hips forward. So the hips are tucked and forward, and we're going to keep them there as we bring the left hand by our side and then just bring it down in the direction of our back heel. It can just look like this, reaching in that direction, keeping ourselves forward. And we're going to try that out 5 times. So try to keep the spine tall, Ted. So only move as far as you can keep that spine for me. So if we're only moving like this, that is completely fine. Nice. Because what we're doing right here is working our hip. Nice. Very good. We can try that out 2 more times here. Awesome, guys. And then we're going to be coming back down into our lizard lunge to cool things down. So I'm going to walk right foot out towards the right side of my mat. And then my hands are going to come down right next to the left foot. Did I say right? I meant left. Hopefully y'all got that. All right, I'm placing my blocks down right next to my left foot. And then you have that option to open your lizard up by walking your back knee back a hair. That sometimes makes things feel a little bit more comfortable. All right, press into that left big toe. We're keeping the knee and the shoulder really close. And we're gonna find a couple breaths here. Very good. Last big breath before we start moving. Awesome. All right, now with the left hand, we're going to push that foot over towards its knife edge, and then our torso is going to go over towards the right. We're going to try that for a couple times here. So our torso's over towards the right. We're pushing our knee away from us. I'm keeping my right hand on the block or whatever, the pillow, whatever you're using. As we just find some opening into that left hip. All right, I'm gonna try that out one more time. Pushing that guy away. And then you can come back into your lizard lunge. All right, so dig into that left big toe once more. See if you can curl the back toes under. And we're going to be lifting our back knee up 5 times. So we have 1, we gently lower it down. We have 2, we gently lower it down. We have 3, and lower down. We have 4. Last one here. We have 5. All right, now we're going to take our rocks on this side for our hamstring. So we're going to be rolling from heel to toe, lengthening out that left side, getting some movement. You can straighten that leg as much as you like, but even mine right now is not fully straight. So just meet yourself where you're at today and where it feels most comfortable. As with all of these movements, listen to what your body's telling you. And don't forget to breathe. Awesome. Let's get 2 more of those. Moving back and forth. Last one here. And then we're going to rock back into our lizard. I want you to bring the left knee to meet the right knee. And then we're going to be coming into a puppy pose. So hands are going to walk out towards the front of your mat. And then we're going to arch the back, push ourselves back towards our hips while keeping them high. And then maybe our head and our chest here can come a little bit closer to the ground. Finding puppy. So puppy's just a little bit different than child's pose because our hips are nice and up and high. You can begin to press into the palms if you'd like. And find a nice stretch here. Awesome. All right, I want you to set the elbows down where they are. We're going to make a little triangle here. So the elbows are down. We're going to bring the hands together, keep the hips high, and find a puppy variation with a little shark fin. So the hands can come a little bit closer in towards the head. The hips are still high towards the sky. And we can find a nice gentle press down into the elbows. Last big breath here. Awesome. All right, I want you to rock forward onto your hands and knees once more. We're going to move a little bit more into the upper body before we start to cool things down for today. We just did a lot of opening into the hips. All right, so I'm going to shift my weight into my right hand, and then I'm going to try to hover my left arm. So we have equal weight in that left hand, and then I'm going to bring that left hand behind me, see if I can touch around my mid back, and then bring it back towards the front of the room. So I bring my hand around like I'm making an airplane. I touch my mid back if I can, or whatever is accessible for me today. And then I bring it back. We're going to do 5 of those. So move at your own pace here as we move through this rotation within our shoulder. Nice. After your 5th one, I want you to set that palm down. Inhale, take a breath, reset before we move towards the other side. And now you're going to shift your weight into that left hand. Try to keep equal weight in each one of your knees. And then the right arm is going to come up. The back is going to stay flat. As we bring that hand around, see if we can touch the back. And then back forward. Oh, I don't have enough space. I have a wall. All right, 5 times, guys. How we doing? Taking some nice circles. So wherever your arm, wherever your motion is, or wherever your joint range of motion looks like with your arm today, just meet it there. Find something that feels doable for you. Nice. And then I got my last one here for 5. Awesome. All right, I'm going to walk my hands back down, back towards my hips, and then I'm going to take a nice seat. Okay, we're going to be coming into like a cross-legged seat, but I call it a mermaid sit. So the right leg is going to come in towards the body, bent, and then the left leg is going to do the same. So they're both bent in, and this is where if we have a pillow and we notice our hips are really high, or even a block, I can place this under whatever side needs that support a little bit. Mine's a little big, but if you have a pillow, it would do nicely here. All right. Are we all situated? Okay. No? Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to inhale. We're going to send the arms overhead. And then we're going to exhale to drop right palm down and then lean over with left arm. Let me find a nice opening into the back. Last big breath. Awesome. And now we're going to begin to take some back strokes with the arm. So I do really nice wide circles, whatever feels good in my shoulder here. As I open, nice. If you hear little poppies, that's really normal. It means you have joints, so.
Clack.
What'd you say?
Clickety clack.
Yep, I know. Mine sound like that today too. All right, re-extend that left arm. And then I want you to bring the hand behind the neck. And then think about driving that elbow up towards the sky. Finding a nice neck stretch. Last big breath here. And then we're going to come back into our seat. All right, we're going to try that twist on the other side. This is a lot of twisting, so meet yourself where you are. You can always put your hand on a block, just like we did on the other side. If the floor is kind of hard, I can put a block right next to my left shin to make this a lot easier. All right, so we're still into that sit with the right leg in, left leg to the side. I'm going to reach both arms up to the sky out of my waist. And then I'm going to place my hand either on the floor or on my block as I lean over towards the left. So right arm is extending. This one tends to be a little bit more of an opening. As we find a couple breaths here. Last big breath. And then we're going to come up. Okay. We're going to switch sides. So take your knees, switch them the opposite way. Left knee's in towards the body, right knee's out towards the side. And then we can take a second to situate. If we need to place a pillow or a block underneath our right butt, that might be helpful here. And then we start by sitting nice and tall. Awesome. On your next inhale, the hands are going to sweep overhead. And then the left hand is going to plant. The right arm is going to lean out nice and long. And we're going to find some nice breaths into our back here. You can think about rolling the chest out, and you can even begin to walk the hand out if that feels good for you. Last big breath. Awesome. All right, let's do the backstroke. So it takes those big circles behind us, opening out through the shoulder. Very good, guys. On this last one, complete the circle and then re-extend that right arm. And then we can take that right hand, bring it behind the neck, and then think about lifting that elbow up to the sky, pressing that chest up. So we find a nice like tricep. You could be also feeling this in your neck like me. As we take a couple breaths. Awesome. On your next inhale, you're going to press right back up into your seat. And then now we're going to send both of the legs in front of us. And we're just going to take a couple rotations with your hips. We've already done a lot for your hips today, but getting some rotation is really great, especially if you've been sitting all week. They get really tight. All right, so we're going to keep the butt down, the knees are bent, and then with keeping our sit bones down as much as we can, we're going to lean the legs to one side and then to the other side. Very good, guys. Ooh, my knee popped. That's always weird when that happens. Nice, guys. And then bring the legs back to where we started. All right, we're going to take some circles at our ankles here and our knees to loosen up our joints, but it's I don't think we've done these before. So I'm going to bring myself over to my left leg. I'm going to keep my left heel on the floor. Hopefully you can see my feet over there. And then I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to put it on front of this big bone, this tibia. So we're going to try to move our ankles here and nothing else. You're going to notice that your tibia wants to rotate quite a bit, even if you try, but we're going to try to minimize some of that tibia and rotate right at this ankle joint. All right, so we're going to start by pointing the toes over towards the left, right where you find that spot right before your bone rotates, and then start to make a circle over towards the other side. You can start with your circle as big or as small as you want it here. I know my ankles are really tight right now, so I probably don't look like the best example. Nice. Once you got a couple circles on one direction, we're going to make a couple circles going towards the other direction, nice and slow. Ooh. Very good. And then let's move over to that other side. So I'm gonna wrap my hand around, I like to just wrap it underneath the knee. That feels really secure for me. And then I place the left hand on my shin to stop that rotation or to notice it. And then we'll start with this foot. I'm gonna turn my toes over towards one side and then to begin to make some circles, really trying to isolate that movement at the ankle. You might notice that your circles aren't as big as you thought they would be. I'm in the same boat. So. Our feet and our ankles get really tight when we wear shoes, especially shoes that have a lot of heel lift. So they don't have to move as much in all directions like how they do when we're barefoot. And then we can change directions. Doing a couple circles on the other side. Nice. Okay, cool. Let's try those knees now. So same position as we were on that other side. I want you to grab underneath your left knee and then see if we can lift that foot off the ground. Awesome. Once you have it nice and secure, it's crazy how comfortable this feels. Let me know if it doesn't. There's something that we can do to help you out. But most of the time, this feels pretty decent. All right, now I want you to move your tibia a couple times. We're gonna bring the foot in and out, let that tibia rotate because that's a part of our knee. So notice how that feels. And then I want you to turn your toes in towards your body. And then we're gonna see where we can extend the leg up, extend as much as feels good. And then we're gonna rotate our toes out and come down. All right, so rotate your toes in, we're coming up. Rotate your toes up, out, and we're coming down. Last one. So we're in, we're coming up, we're out, we're coming down. Awesome. And we're gonna do the same thing at that right knee. Okay, so we're gonna grab it underneath. And then I want you to pick it up, take some rotations with the foot. Notice what that feels like on this side. Let that tibia rotate. And then we're going to bring the toes in towards the body. Kick that leg up to where it feels comfortable, and then toes are going to go away, and then we come down. And bring the toes in to come up again. Same thing here, and then out to come down. So we're switching the direction at every side. Our knees can get really tight when we sit, so this is one of the movements that's going to help move our knee joint a little bit because it's a joint too that needs some movement. All right, last one, toes out, and then we come back down. Awesome. Set your leg down. We're going to start coming down to our backs to cool things down. But before we do that, your feet are going to be out in front of you. You're going to roll your shoulders back. We're going to find a nice stretch into our chest. So you're going to walk the hands back to where that feels comfortable. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then we're going to think about puffing your chest out to find the chest opening here. So press your chest up to the sky. And take a nice breath. Last big one. Awesome. All right, extend out your legs nice and long. And then we're going to be rounding our upper body, reaching towards our feet like we're making a really big C shape. And then I want you to roll down one vertebrae at a time. We always like to race to see who can do this the slowest, keeping everything nice and rounded. Ooh. Oh gosh, Ted. That was pretty close. Oh, all right, so now we're back down to the back. I want you to bring the left knee up in towards the chest. Give it a nice squeeze up and towards the hip. You can even bring it over far towards the left for a second, and that might feel nice. And then you can bring it back, and we're going to be taking that twist. So I want you to cross that left knee over towards that right side, and then we're going to extend that left arm nice and long. If your left knee is hovering like mine and you got your pillows or your blocks, you can take this guy, put it underneath your left knee. That can make this a lot more comfortable. All right, so I'm dropping my shoulders down. You can even see if you can drop your left ear down as you will look towards left hand. All right, and we're going to be taking some bow and arrows across the chest to finish up here before we move to the other side. So with that left arm, you're going to bring it across your chest, back towards the right, and then open it over the chest back and towards your twist. So we're going to do that 3 times. So you close the book with that left arm, and then you bring it in line with the chest and open the book out. Last one. So we close the book, and then we open the book. Maybe you notice now that you're back and toward your twist, you can sink a little bit deeper. Awesome. And then roll back onto your back, and we're going to do that same sequence on the other side. All right, so send your left leg out long. We're going to hug that right knee in towards your chest, and then you can bring it off to the right. If that feels good, giving your hip a little bit of a massage, any movement here that you'd like. And then when you're ready, bring it back and up and in towards the chest, and then over towards the left as we find our twist. Same with that other side. If that right knee is hovering, you can place that guy right on a block right underneath or pillow right underneath. And then we're extending out the right arm, setting right ear down, and seeing if we can drop both shoulders down too. Taking a couple breaths here. Awesome. Now we're going to take those 3 bow and arrows here across the chest. So we close the book, bringing the right arm back, and then we open the book, bringing the right arm across the chest. Nice and slow. Very good. All right, last one if you're with me. We're bow and arrowing back. And then notice when you're back into your twist, if you feel like you can move a little bit deeper. Take a breath there. Awesome. Roll back onto your back for me. Undo that twist. You can bring the knees up and towards your body. even round your head up and make yourself a little ball if that feels good. And take whatever rolls you want on your lower back. And pretending you're a little ball. Nice. And then roll off to one side for me. And then we're going to be pressing right up through fetal position back into our seats. Oh, awesome. And then you can take a seat. All right. That is it. How are we feeling?